welcome. Good, nice present, thanks. Today is Daf Lamed Vav. We're starting from the bottom of Lamed Hey on Beis. A couple of emails. Good vach, everybody. Hope you had an enjoyable Shabbos, as we did. Ooh, this one, maybe I'll save for later. Yaakov, I got a couple of emails for you. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, so we'll do this quickly. Yes? Sam who? Sammy. I just want to know, is Noam Fix on tonight? I have not seen him the entire Shabbos, and he's right next to me.
Noam's not on.
So maybe he's not feeling well. Okay.
Sorry, Noam's here.
He is. Okay. Hi, Noam. Next time, make an appearance.
He just came on now.
Yeah, of course. Sammy Moraim is on. Shkoyach, Sammy. You know, I missed you. Unbelievable. All right, it's Muktzeh Shabbos. We have close to 80 guys on Zoom. And I don't know what's going on with YouTube. It's like taking time to upload it. So I think there's a problem with YouTube. Anyways, we have an email from Yitzchak Meir Lipschitz from Tzvat. I'm not going to read the whole entire thing, but it says like this. Dear Eli, always a day late. Yes.
Eli.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Will no one be upset if I come open this door?
Oh my gosh. You going to see where he's at?
I was gonna go check on him.
Hold on. Let's do this live. If so, let's do it live. Hold on. Go check it up. Let's go.
Come on in, Kami. Come on in. Put on a mask.
Hey, what's going on?
Keep walking. Keep walking.
Oh my God! Hold on.
This is a guy that cares about Corona.
Keep inside. Oh, baby. Smelling from sweat.
You know, it's amazing that both of you are back to back here. I hope nobody else comes on. Uh-oh.
Get away.
All right, beautiful. How many guys? All right, we have almost 80 guys. Baruch Hashem. All right. Yeah, let's turn it. I'm sorry. I apologize, but listen. Once in a while, we got the chevra has to become live and well. It's not just me sitting here in a room. It's the whole chevra together. Ay, bavoy. All right. Yes.
A little bit on the camera. Press the plus on the camera.
Which one?
Which camera?
On the Zoom camera.
Press the plus.
Yes, a little one time.
Like that.
Okay, one more maybe.
Here, Mary, you press the plus. Oh, no, the arrow on top.
That's good. It was good. It was good. Now, Mayor, the other way, down. That's it. Down a little bit. Go down a little bit. There you go. Okay, perfect.
All right, Rabbi Yisrael, let's go back to the email. Yitzchak Meir Lipschitz. This is not waste of time. Always a day late, but one remark. So this guy is another Lubavitcher. It says like this, always a day late, but one remark and one question on Daf Lamed Beis. He's holding Daf Lamed Beis. I didn't read his email yet. And I say them with both a bold and huge heart. The remark, the Litvish Gdolim taka follow the Gemara to stay away from doing miracles, for it diminishes your merits. On the other hand, Hasidic Rebbes go with self-sacrifice. I guess that's what I said on Daf Lamed Beis. Ready to diminish their merits in order to help others. Said in jest, since many great Litvish Gdolim, such as Rav Chaim Kanievsky, give brachas. Now, brachas and moifsim are two different things, Rabbi Yid. I know what he's saying. He's saying that people are soymach anisim and moifsim. I hear. The question, I don't understand, the proof of the Gemara about miracles, he has the kash here. Okay, but anyway, I just want the pat on the shoulder, and I'm skipping everything. It says a huge fan of yours, and he wrote in big giant letters. And as the Rebbe always encourages, don't rest on past accomplishments. Go, Michael, Choyel, Yitzchak Meir, Akoyin Lipschitz from Tzvat. I love the fact that he's from Tzvat. All right. What else do we have here? This one I cannot read. I could read it, but it's just not a pat on the shoulder for me. This one says specifically don't read, so I'm not going to read. I'm just going to take out one part. That he's a big fan from Cedarhurst, New York, and he was very happy that we sing a song at the end of the shir. Not going to read the rest. This is interesting, but I'm going to wait for tomorrow. Okay, you know what? Maybe we'll just say this anyways. I don't know where he's from. That's the only problem. I was hoping he would be on. You know what? Let's just go. Let's jump into Gemara.
Would you welcome Mayor?
Mayor who?
He showed up.
Who?
Mayor.
Which mayor?
You found one.
Oh, Mayor's been here. Mayor's... Shkoyach Mayor. When it's the nighttime, he's here. During the morning, he doesn't want to disturb. What? All right. When he has chavrusa, he doesn't show up. When he doesn't, he doesn't. But anyways, Meir is a tremendous Talmid Chacham. We just have to convince him. He got a psak from Rabbi David Cohen that he's not allowed to even daven on a porch minyan. So, it's our first big blow-up fight that we had in halacha. And maybe, I don't know, Noam, you agree with him? Because I saw that touch and go there with the porch thing.
I agree that you need to respect all tzadim. I think that's what this Corona issue teaches us more than anything.
So you go on both. One day you go like this, Rob, one day you go like that.
Depends on how I'm
Okay,
feeling.
gewaldig. Okay. But listen, at least you could just stick your hand out the window and say hello to me and Avi, something, you know? A little recognition, but thanks for sending your son out there. Zog the Gemara. So we're holding Rabbi Say, okay, everybody's together now. We have the whole Olam, we have the Muktzeh Shabbos Olam. Yeah, what? We got to learn. The guys from YouTube are going nuts. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
What do you want? What did you say?
You saw Mendy coming this
I saw Mendy and I heard you. You were a beautiful chazan. You shkoyach for Musaf. Was great. And let's get going. So we finished off yesterday where the guy takes a shofar erev Shabbos and he blows 6 kiyas, truah, tkiya, whatever, the whole 6 blowings, in order to tell Klal Yisrael that it's Shabbos, stop doing melacha, come back from the field. And then the Gemara finishes off and says, and we said even in our days, the Ramah says you should blow a shofar, let people know that it's Shabbos. Great. But what does he do with the shofar? The Gemara says he takes the shofar and puts it right there where he's at. He doesn't take it home, because it's Muktzeh. So the Gemara finishes off saying that the shofar and the chatzaitzros, the trumpet, are Muktzeh. So basically, what we're going to have here is very simple. Here's the shofar, and here's the chatzaitzra. It's Muktzeh. Both of them are Muktzeh. But then we're going to bring a brisa that says that only a chatzaitzra is Muktzeh, but a shofar is not. So you could make tirutzim. You could say this brisa is talking about this brisa is talking about that. The issue is, once we come with a third brisa that shows that both of them are mutter, then we're going to have to come up to say that there's no excuses anymore, there's no tirutzim. We're just going to say that each brisa is talking about a different shita. Says the Gemara, Vatanya, 3 lines from the bottom. Shofar mitaltel, v'chatzaitzrois eina mitaltelin. There's a mafurish brisa. Why are you telling me that a shofar is muktzeh and he has to put it in a drawer on the rooftop? It says mafurish, a shofar is not muktzeh. Only chatzaitzros is muktzeh. Now, why would a shofar not be muktzeh? Because of the concept of kli shemelachti laheter. Any kli that you could perform a malacha that's mutter on Shabbos, like drinking. So since I can drink out of this shofar cup, I could give a child water from here and he won't care that much. So it becomes all of a sudden, yes, it's a kli that I blow with, and it blowing a sound, making a sound on Shabbos is asur, but I could also use it for something that's mutter. Whereas this funny thing, you can't do anything with. I'm not saying that this is what it looked like in the Beis HaMikdash. This is l'saber sa'oizen. But anyways, a trumpet, and they use this on basically on Rosh Hashanah also, the trumpet, together with the shofar. La mishaneh. Yovel came, they blew the trumpets, whatever trumpet was in those days. But there's nothing you can do with it. There's no melach of heter with a trumpet. So I'm going to say that a shofar is mutter, and a chatzaitzra, a trumpet, is asur. Omer Rabbi Yosi lo kasha. So if I have a contradiction between the two brises, then I could come up with something. Kan be yachid, kan be tzibur. When you're talking about an individual could use it for his family. You could give. You don't have enough. We ran out of plastic cups. We forgot to buy plastic cups for Pesach. Nobody come give me. I already somebody. Don't worry. You could use the shofar. I could go into my closet now and I give Lazi, who doesn't touch anything, only pizza. I'll give him to drink from my shofar. That's not going to happen. But that's a yachid. A tzibur, if I have a shofar in the Beis HaMikdash, what am I going to do with the shofar in the Beis HaMikdash? I can't let anybody drink from it. It's also for them to drink from my Beis HaMikdash shofar. So it has zero purpose but to make a sound on Shabbos, and that's usher. Fine. Tam b'tzibur. What's the whole reason that it's mutter when it's an individual? I could use it for water. For a young child. Wait a minute. I do have a good purpose for it, even on Shabbos, b'tzibur, when the tzibur is chayiv to give food to a child who's poor. Oh boy, guess who's here? Come here. Let me show you what's going on. Get over here. Okay. Let me show you. That's my anicle, the four-legged anicle. Okay, but there's another purpose. Get over here. You got it. Just for the... Say Shalom Aleichem to the Oilam. Everybody wants to meet Mando. This is Kiwi's dog. All right, go. Shkoyach. Anyway, so the Gemara says there's still a tzorach for the shofar, even though it's owned by the tzibur, when the tzibur is chayiv to be mefarnes ani, so they could use it as a cup for that ani. Vesu, and the main question is, how does sanyo kashem shemitaldel is a shofar kach mitaldel is a chatzaytzroitz? There's a Fursha brisa that says that you're allowed to. There's no muktzeh on a trumpet or a shofar. If there's no muktzeh on a trumpet, certainly not on a shofar. The problem is we have now three brises. Each one says something else. One brisa says a shofar and a trumpet are muktzeh. One brisa says a trumpet and a shofar are not muktzeh. And then we have the middle brisa that says a trumpet is muktzeh, shofar is not muktzeh. What do you do? Ella loy kashi. Mani, so who does it go according to? Ella loy kashi. Ha Rebbe Yehuda, ha Rebbe Shimon, ha Rebbe Nechemia. So it's very pashut. We already discussed Rebbe Yehuda and Rebbe Shimon when it comes to Muktzeh. Rebbe Yehuda is more machmir in Muktzeh. Rebbe Shimon is less machmir. So Rebbe Nechemia is a new shita. Rebbe Nechemia is a very interesting shita, and he says, yes, there's something called kli shemelachtoy laheter. I could use it, but you have to be using it for that designated use. So a shofar, its use is to blow and make a sound. It's not to drink. So yes, I could maybe perhaps find a malacha for it, but that's not its use. The classic example that the Mishnah, the Shulchan Aruch always talks about is a hammer. I could take a hammer and build a building with it, so it's a kli shemelachti le'isur. But I could also find a good excuse to use it on Shabbos. I want to lefatzeach v'yad goizim. I have those walnuts that Yeshua bought me because I mentioned in Shir when we were talking about walnuts. How am I going to open them up? The way I open them up is with a hammer. But what's its main use? Says Rebbe Nechemia, the main use of a hammer is to bang a nail into wood. So don't start telling me, oh, I could use it for this and for that. A shofar also, the main use is to make a sound on Shabbos. That's usher. Yes, you have a use. You could find a funny use. Who's going to drink? Which normal person is going to drink from a shofar that Menachem Mata just blew 400 tekiyas from? It's disgusting. So the kids are, yes, you could use it, but it's a shvacha thing. So Rebbe Nechemia says that's usher. So Mela, according to Rebbe Nechemia, both are muktzeh. Then you have Rebbe Yehuda shita. Rebbe Yehuda holds everything is usher. But listen, at the end of the day, I could use a shofar as a cup. So that's mutter, but this I can't use a cup, that's usher. So he makes a pshara over here. Whereas Reb Shimon, he's matter in Muktzeh, he's very mekel in Muktzeh. So he says even a trumpet is not Muktzeh, it's not a problem. Great. No, it depends, in certain things yes, but not here. Says the Gemara, but we have a problem. Umay shofar nami chatoitzrois. So, according to Rebbe Nechemia, that they're both muktzeh, a shofar and a trumpet, so why do I need a sticking trumpet? Trumpet has absolutely no use. Once I tell you that a shofar is muktzeh, and it has a use and it's still muktzeh, then I don't need to tell me trumpet. Trumpet has no use. So wouldn't it be smarter just to say a shofar is muktzeh? Yes, you can use it as a cup sometimes, but I'm Reb Nechemya and I'm machmir and I hold even though it's a cup, it's muktzeh. Anybody could do 1 + 1 equals that a trumpet that has 0 use is certainly also. So why do I have to stick it in chatzotzros? Says the Gemara, "Keder Rav Chizda dom Rav Chizda hanet las mili shtani shemayu mikichar beis hamikdash." Their names are flipped. So since the beis hamikdash was nechrav, things changed. The common speech, the vernacular, whatever you want to call it, it changed. So what you call the chatzotra used to be a shofar, what you call the shofar as a chatzotra, there's a mix-up. So in order for people not to get confused, we said both. Chatzotzarto shofara. A trumpet is a shofar. Shofara chatzotzarto. L'may nafkimina, the shofar shel Rosh Hashanah. So if a guy comes to you, Amar, it says, hey, what do I blow? I forgot what do I blow. You need to tell him you blow a trumpet. Because a trumpet is what we call nowadays a shofar, and what they used to call a shofar before Churban Habayis. That's it. Very pashut. Also, arava tzavtzafa. We know what we put in our lulav and arava, but things changed. Instead of calling it arava, they call it tzavtzafa. Tzavtzafa, arava, l'manaf kamina, lulav. If a guy comes to you and asks you, what should I put in my lulav together with my dasim, you tell him, put in a tzavtzafa, because today it's called tzavtzafa. Tzavtzav is actually round and the stem is white. It's completely different. Psura, pesursa, a long table, a large table, a small table, turned into a stender, into a small table. Psurta, psura, lemay nafkemina, lemekachu memkar. So if I go to the store and I say, hey, I want a psura, I want a large table. So he gives me a small table. I ask for a small table. So I have to know what word is what it means. Big nafkemina. Let me add something, says Abaya. Huvlila beikase. Beikase huvlila. So, if we go back to Chulin, if you're looking for this, Yosef, this is on Chulin Daf Mem Ches. I didn't do a new one for today, but if you want to post it, you hear Yosef? I see him looking for it already. Okay. So here's a cow. Cow has 4 stomachs. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're talking about 2 and 3. They switched the names of the Hemses, this guy, number 3, with 2. Big nafkemina. Why? Because this one has a thicker skin. If you remember, again, we had a live shechting and he pulled it out and he showed it to us. It's very, very interesting the way the different designs. The one looks like a honeycomb almost. The other one looks beautiful stuff inside. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is an artist. But the point is that if a needle goes halfway through this guy, it's not the end of the world because it has it's a thick layer of skin. It has a skin, it has fat, it has skin. So if it just goes through half, it doesn't make it a treif. We're talking about if you find the needle after the shechita in this, it's not treif. Unless it goes through and through, then it's treif. But if you find the needle in number 3, it is treif, even if it goes through half, because it's a very, very thin membrane, and therefore it creates a treif. So you need to know what a hemsis is. You can't just say, it's all the same. All 4 stomachs are the same. Hemsis is hemsis. This is the hemsis. This is very fragile. And if today they call the hemsis beis hakosos, like this looks like a cup, then you have a problem. You don't want to switch the 2. Derech Agav, once I'm here, I need to mention this again. I know you guys that learned Chulin, but I was extremely inspired from this unbelievable Pila Habriya that HaKadosh Baruch Hu makes in animals, and that is nothing to do with our sugya, but just once I'm holding it up.
Eli, I don't have the sheet. I don't have access. I'm sorry.
Oh, to Chulin. Okay, maybe I'll give it to you later. Okay. Okay. Basically, if this was a calf nursing, this calf would die. Why? Because the milk would come in and go to stomach number 1, and the stomach number 1 is so strong, it's designed to dissolve grass and all these crazy things that cows eat. So the cow would die. It would take all the nutrients out of the milk, and nothing would happen. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu made an unbelievable thing. Only when the calf is young, now when it's older, that the milk goes in and follows the blue thing here. If you see closely, blue goes directly into number 3 and then 2, and it bypasses the green. There's a little hole, the milk drops in and doesn't get destroyed. Anyways, I thought it's a beautiful Pile Habriya, the way HaKadosh Baruch Hu made it. Next, L'may nafkemino, l'machat shenimtzeis ba'oivi beis ha'koisos, to a needle that was found in the beis ha'koisos, and since beis ha'koisos is thicker, it's not treif. The mitzad echad ksheira u'mishnei tzaddim treifa. If it goes through and through, it's treif. But in the
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead.
A welcome to Avram Willig, who's I think a new member. He's on. Right?
Whoa, Avram Willig is not a new member. He might be new.
I mean on Zoom.
On Zoom, yeah. Avram Willig likes to watch the shir. I spoke to him about it. But Shalom Aleichem, Avram Willig. I don't see him. Hold on. Let me see if I can find him here. Don't see him. Okay. There's 100 people on Zoom now. It's beautiful. Oh, I do. I see him. He's right next to you, actually. On my screen, he appears side by side with you. That's so funny. But I don't see his picture. I just see his name. Fine. Listen, in the beginning, the people are shy. You know what I mean? Danny, fine. I'm going to read your email, I hope, tomorrow. Oh, Rabbi Avram Willig, Shalom Aleichem. It's great to see you. Danny, fine. Be'ez Hashem tomorrow. I'm going to get to it. It's a beautiful email. Zok the Gemara. Omer Avashi. Af onu noimar Bavel Borsif. I have something else to add to the list of things that changed since Churban Abayis. People used to call Bavel, they changed it to Borsif, Borsif Bavel. Turn the page, Lamed Vavam and Beis, L'may nafkemina ligitei noshim. So, Tu Pshatim Rashi, that basically, simple, a get Isha, if you write, instead of Bavel, you write Borsif, or Borsif Bavel, you have a problem, because you have to write the name of the woman, the city she lives in, so that's a problem. And Taisa says, wait a minute, Bavel is the name of a country. Who said it's not necessary to put United States of America or Israel in there? You have to put Bet Shemesh, but you don't have to put the country. If you look on the side, Rav Nisim Goin brings Rav Hai Goin all the way in the bottom of Rav Nisim Goin, and he says something very interesting. I think we once mentioned this, that Bavel is actually a city in Bavel. I just thought it's cool because, like in New York, also New York. New York is a city within the state of New York. So there's such a thing. Stam, if you want to have a yediyah, just an extra yediyah, Bavel could be to answer that problem. Or if you want to go with the first pshat in Rashi, that you don't have to say b'fanei nechta if it comes from Bavel. Hadron aloch b'mei madlikin, hadron aloch b'mei madlikin, hadron aloch b'mei. Hey, is Reuven Ched on tonight? He wanted to do Kira. Where is he? All right, Rabbi Isai, we're starting Perique. I think it's very negea, this whole, I don't know how much we're going to get mamish halacha l'maisa, but at least we're going to know a lot of musagim, and it's negea every single Shabbos, cholent, putting back a cholent, taking off a cholent, putting in the oven, taking out of the oven. What's going on? There's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of machloikesin, and there's machloikesin within the paiskim. But at least we're not going to be on maratzim. What's a grufa ktuma? What's this? What's that? What's chazara? What's shehiyah? We're going to have the musagim, and we're going to look at things a lot better, I think. So, some of the lashonos that we need to know first is we had this one grufa ktuma is basically it means that you remove the coals completely out of the oven. And ktuma means you put a layer of ashes. You cover the coals. Here are the coals, they're red, and you put on top of it a layer. And in both cases, you don't have the issue of chitui that you might come to stoke the coals because you made a nice simon over here, and over here certainly they're out of the oven. It's not a problem. What about our ovens today? What kind of halach do they have? Now, our ovens should be not grufa, not ktuma. All you need to do is go like this to the knob, and it becomes hotter. So there's a problem of chitui l'chayr in our ovens. I don't think anybody argues on that, right? What? Right. So what exactly our ovens are? Our ovens are very similar to what the Mishnah is going to be talking about. Now, another thing that we need to know is shehiyah. Shehiyah means to leave something on the oven. Usually, before Shabbos, you make something, you make a cholent, then you leave it on the fire it's done, it's well done, it's finished. You want to leave it on till you eat it. That's shihiyah. Chazara means to put something back, you take something off the oven, like one would take off the oven the cholent pot to grab some cholent Friday night, and then you'd want to put it back on. That's chazara. Hatmana we don't really need to speak about, but we spoke about before, and that is to cover something, to bury it, to hide it in a blanket or something. Fine. Says the Mishnah, Kira shisikua bekashu begvava noisnem oleh tafshil. Kira is a type of an oven. Here's the picture. Here's a kira. Basically, this kira, we're going to discuss different things. There's a tanner, there's a kupach, there's a kira. Today we're discussing just this. You could put these pots on top, or you could put the pots inside. Obviously, if it's inside, it's hotter. It's next to the coals. Over here, it's on top, a little bit less heat. Kira, that's what we have. Similar to our stovetops. Kashu gvava, I don't know, I went a little crazy on Erev Shabbos. Didn't have to do this, but I was very impressed with my artwork. This is according to Rashi. Tosfos is the exact opposite. Basically, just want to know what kash and gvava is. Kash is the upper part of the wheat. Gvava is the part that's stuck to the ground. I don't know if you noticed, there's a little bit of a line here. Like they're not attached. Okay. So, this kash and gvava. That's really not important to our sugya. The point is that once we know how straw burns, right? You light it, it gives you a little fire, it's like a piece of paper. You're not going to start stoking the straw. There's no point. It gives you a flash fire, and that's it. So you can go like this all you want. It's not going to create more heat. It's not going to do anything. Why do we stoke coals? Coals are very simple. Because naturally, the upper part of the coal gets black and dark and kind of suppresses the flame, suppresses the heat from underneath. So you need to flip it, you need to break it, you need to do stuff to it. Not with kashu gvava. So kira shisiku b'kashu gvava, if you have this stove, that inside over here you have straw. Noisnim oleo tafshil, I could put food on it. Now, Rabbi Yisai, I want you to think about one thing while we're reading the Mishnah. What is the Mishnah talking about? Is the Mishnah talking about shihiyah, leaving the pot on from Friday into Shabbos? Or is the Mishnah talking about chazara, meaning on Shabbos, I'm taking it, I took it off, I want to put it back on? What's the difference? Because that's what the Gemara is going to be discussing for the next daf. What exactly is this Mishnah talking about? Now, if you read it with me now, it'll almost seem obvious that we're talking about shihiyah and not chazara. Why? Because the end of the Mishnah talks about chazara. So it almost makes sense that the whole Mishnah is talking about shihiyah, and then all of a sudden we say chazara. To that the Gemara says, perhaps not. It's not such a great raya. But that's the simple reading in the Mishnah. All right. So it says over here, you could put, there's no problem of chitui, there's no problem of stoking the coals like with straw, I could put it, I could leave it on. Let's read it like that. I could leave it on from before Shabbos into Shabbos. The gefes is like the pits of olives and everything that has to do with the leftover olives. In other words, after I squeeze my olives and I take out the oil, whatever's left over, I would use that as fuel, called gefes. With eitzim and with wood. Lo yitein. You're not allowed to put anything on there, on the kiro, achi yigroif, or achi yiten efer. So that we said, that's called grufa and ktuma. Until I remove the coals, or until I put some ashes on the coals. So the Rishonim already discussed at length. Big machloikas here. Does grufa mean, like literally, like in this picture, that I took the coals outside of my oven, or grufa also means I shoved it to the side of the oven? Okay. It actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it fits better into the rest of the Mishnah if they're inside the oven. Why? They'll see suit. But I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying the Rishonim are discussing it. Shammai oimrim chamin. Now, notice that now the Mishnah is going to tell us there's two machlokes about this grufa. Once I did grufa, once I took out the coals, hot water only. There's nothing wrong with hot water. Hot water, I already achieved a boiling point, so I'm not going to add anything to my water. What am I going to do? It's already hot. But we all know, even by the way, when I was a caterer, I learned the biggest side, and Stam, I don't know if you want to hear this. If you put soup on the stove for a day, it tastes a lot better than if it's for 5 hours. I thought it's side and chal, but a lot of foods, overnight, sous vide, all these things. Yes, it could be good now, but the longer it stays on there, it's better. This whole thing that if I remove the coals, that's great by chamin. Doesn't matter. Once it achieved a certain bishul, it's already mevushal, so I don't care. I'm not worried that you're going to stoke coals. Why would you stoke the coals? And now here comes the second thing. We have to remember these two machlokes for the little raya in the Gemara here. But we could see it here. All of a sudden, the Shammai show up and they say, hey, that's if you take it, but you can't put it back. So what were we talking about until now? It seems like from the Mishnah that we're talking about shehiyah, leaving it from Friday until Shabbos. Come Beis Shammai and they say, you're not allowed to put it back. But if they're talking about, the whole Mishnah is talking about, you're not allowed to put it back, so what's Beis Shammai saying? Shalom Aleichem, you're not allowed to put it back. And by the way, hey, you're not allowed to put it back. We're talking about you're not allowed to put it back. That's why it seems like the Mishnah is talking about shehiyah. Then all of a sudden, the last line in the Mishnah, it says, you're not allowed to put it back. Why aren't you allowed to put it back? Because it looks like you're cooking. It looks like you're cooking. You're allowed to put it back. Now, I don't want to confuse anybody. It's difficult enough, but I thought there was a beautiful yisoid in halacha over here that I thought was very, very important to mention. The Tosfos says that even you're allowed to put it back, even if it's kemachol ben drusai, so we're going to see soon, hardly cooked, rare, very rare meat. You're allowed to put it back, according to this last line. Not important what Tosfos says, only for this following halacha. Because the Rambam and all these other Rishonim are arguing Tosfos. But let me ask you a question. What happens if a guy put back a kamachal ben drusai like Tosfos? He had a really rare piece of meat, and he holds like Beis Hillel, we pass it like Beis Hillel. He puts it back in the oven, he cooks it up, mamish, perfect. Then it's beautiful. According to all these Rishonim, he just was over Issa D'Oraisa. And when you're over Issa D'Oraisa on Shabbos, you have to wait. So if I cooked it for another 25 minutes, when Muktzeh Shabbos comes, I cannot eat it for 25 minutes. I cannot gain. But here's the big chap I want to tell you guys about. That since Tosfos paskins that it's mutter, so when it comes b'chadei yasu, we go by the heter guy. Yes, it's also for you to eat it on Shabbos, because all the Rishonim argue on Tosfos. But since there is one shita that holds that it's mutter, then there's no b'chadei yasu anymore. You don't have to wait 25 minutes. I thought it's pretty cool. According to the Rambam, the guy is over Issa D'Oraisa, he's chayiv skila, and he has to bring a chatos. And l'chayra, because he has to bring a chatos, you have to wait 25 minutes. No, but the shitas are Tosfos from France, and they say that you're not chayiv a chatos. So therefore, even according to the Rambam, I could eat my steak on Muktzeh Shabbos right after Havdalah. I don't have to wait 25 minutes. It's a nice chap. Iboilu. So anyways, we're going through one raya today. That's it. A very simple raya. We basically did it already. So let's just see it inside the Gemara. It takes about this whole amud now. Iboilu. Haylo yitin lo yachzeru. When the Mishnah, what is the Mishnah talking about? Chazara? That you're not allowed to put this tafshil, this when you have gefes, eitzim, you're not allowed to take something on Shabbos off the kira and then put it back on the kira, chazara. Ava lishois mashin, but the Mishnah is only talking about chazara. But shehi is much easier than chazara, right? I didn't do anything. I made my chunt. I left it on the stove like everybody else does today, and it's there from before Shabbos. Ava lishois mashin, ava pisheni gar v'nikotum. When the Mishnah says you have to do grifuk tima, I have to remove the coals, that's talking about chazara. That if I remove the coals before Shabbos, and then let's say Friday night, let's take an example of Friday night. After the Suda, I go and I grab some chont, I take the whole pot of chont off. So, say by Shammai, I can't put it back on. Even if it's good. But that's grifuk tuma, even if there's no coals there. I remove the coals before Shabbos. But if I left it on from before Shabbos, I did shihiyah, even if this coals, it's beseder. If the Mishnah is talking about chazara, so then shihiyah, which is much easier, Shalom Aleichem Lian, how was Yontif, 3-day Yontif, with Shabbos, unbelievable. You probably want to take a shower like crazy and you're here learning with us, beautiful. Gewaldig, it's a chizuk. So shihiyah is much less than chazara. So you wouldn't need to take off the coals. The Shammai say you need, even with the coals out, it's no good. Shihiyah would be, even with coals, it is good. And who does this go according to? Chananya. Chananya oimer, kol shu machol ke machol ben drusoi. Here's a picture. Machol ben drusoi. I'm not saying this is to scale, but just in case you guys are hungry, this is what it looks like. It's very rare, okay? It's according to Rashi, it's a third done. According to the Rambam, it's halfway done. Ben Drusai, again, he was a listim, he's a robber. He was always on the move. He's always running away from people and the police. So he couldn't make a real barbecue. So he made his meat. It was a third dam. Boom, he would eat it. So Chananya says once it reached, it doesn't have to be completely mevushal. Once it reached the kamacha ben drusai, it's a third done. That's him again. Mutal l'shoyse agabekiro. You're allowed to leave it. You're allowed to do shihiyah. Afapi sheini goruf ve'enu katum. Now, why are we trying to figure this out according to Chananya? Because Taisa says over here, and this is the other reason to point this out, that we hold like Chananya. So it makes a lot of sense for us to fit in the Mishnah like Chananya. Okay? Chananya says if it's Kemacha ben Drusai, so you're allowed to do Shihiyah on a Kira. Even though there's coals inside, there's everything there, it came to a third done, you're allowed to leave it there. Dilma Lashisnan. Okay, that's one way to say that we're talking about Chazara, and it goes according to Chananya. Or it's not going according to Chananya, it's talking about Shihiyah. And even Shihiyah, Beis Shammai say it's also. Vigar v'katamin, iloi. If you remove the coals, great. And if not, it's asur. V'choshkein lahachzer. And if we say so by Chazara, so certainly by Shihiyah. She is much easier than Chazara. Says the Gemara Tashma. Very simple. We went through this, and the Gemara is going to bring it step by step inside. Midiktonic trey babi b'masnisin. Since at the end of our Mishnah, the Mishnah starts off talking about putting stuff on the kira, and then all the way at the end of the Mishnah, we have two Beis Shammais. One says, Beis Shammai say only hot water and not a tafshel, and Beis Shammai say no chazara. The two things that Beis Shammai say. Those are the trey bavi. Miditoni trey bavi b'masnisin, Beis Shammai omrim chamin avaloi b'tafshel. Tafshel. Right? That's the first thing they say. Beis Shammai say only hot water, not a real dish. And then the second thing. Now, as we pointed out, if the Mishnah is talking about Shihiyah, then what? Then the last part of the Mishnah makes a lot of sense. That's what the Gemara said. If we started with Shihiyah, then the last part is talking about Chazara. Great. This is what the Mishnah says. If you have this kira, this stove that you used straw, mashin, you're allowed to do shihiyah. Mashin aleh tafshil. However, begefes u'be'etim, if you use real fuel, you use olives and wood, lo yashat shiyigroi v'achiyita nefer. You have to do grufa ktuma. Umayin mashin, and then all of a sudden Beis Shammai come along. The Gemara is just going through step by step of the Mishnah. What is it? What product are you doing shia with? Beis Shammai mechamim, only hot water, avaloi tavshil, but not a real dish. So that's the Mishnah started off with shihiyah. And then the Mishnah continues. So that makes a lot of sense. It's perfect. The Mishnah starts off with shihiyah, whether I'm allowed to leave a dish on from before Shabbos all the way into Shabbos. Then the Mishnah switches gears. The last line in the Mishnah, Beis Shammai say, not only shihiyah, but also chazara. If I remove a dish on Shabbos, Beis Shammai say no, and Beis Hillel say, in other words, they're just adding another step, not another layer. Not only shihiyah is asur, I say, mi Beis Shammai, us Beis Shammai, we say, even chazara is asur, which is obvious. There's no difference. That's great if the Mishnah starts off with shihiyah and jumps into chazara. But if the Mishnah started off with chazara, what in the world is the last line of the Mishnah? So let's go through it. And it's referring to the first line of the Mishnah, talking about machzirin. You're allowed to put it back on Shabbos. Machzirin oleo tafshil begefes ube'etzim lo yachzir. But you're not allowed to do chazara if it's made out of wood and olives until you do grufa ketuma. And what does Beis Shammai come and add? Umay machzirim. What are you allowed to? Beis Shammai yoimrim chamen, only hot water. Avli tafshil. Oizim chamen tafshil. Great. So they just, Shammai comes and says, we're only talking about a regular dish, but hot water is not a problem for chazar. And then all of a sudden, so where's this line coming? What is he telling us? What is he adding? The whole Mishnah is talking about chazara, and all of a sudden they add, and by the way, Beis Shammai say, you're not allowed to do chazara, hasulam ali. Says the Gemara, Daf Yomi Zayin Amud Aleph, lo ilovei melach lahachzir. I'm talking about chazara, the chasuri mechzira. Yes, I could be doichik the whole Mishnah to say it's talking about chazara. I could say it's talking about shihiyah and it works out great, but I don't have a great raya because I could say it's chasuri mechzira. In other words, if I just understand what we're talking about, I stick in a few imaginary words, it all fits in. Now what? We're talking about chazara. Yes, we're starting over the chazara. That if the fuel is just straw, you're allowed to do chazara. But if it's real wood, you have to do grufa ktuma if it's wood. Avalishos, here's the imaginary words. But by the way, that's only because I'm talking about chazara. But shihiyah is different. Mashin, mashin. So Beis Shammai is not talking about chazara. Yes.
Eli, the art scroll Olam cannot follow you anymore. So they need another.
No, they couldn't follow me from the Mishnah.
No, they threw in the Mishnah for free. The art scroll.
Oh, you mean without English?
Correct. They don't have a Lama Zayin Amud Aleph yet.
So all the guys that are using Art Scroll are not following me because they need English and they can't, and they were warned. Let's just finish this pshat. We're almost done. It's the middle of a sugi. You can't really stop here. The sugi starts from the Gemara. It was all easy. Easy. Listen, this is also easy. I'll say about peh. Everything is great. The bottom line is the Mishnah is talking about chazara and shihiyah. You just have to stick in imaginary words here. And Beis Shammai is first when they, what's the word? Noam always helps me with this word. Not clarify it. No, Noam.
I don't know what you want to say, Al.
When the Mishnah tells me what I'm talking about, it. Okay.
Elucidates?
What? No, not elucidates. It qualifies. Qualifies is the word. That's your favorite. It qualifies. The Mishnah is qualifying and saying However, what is it that you could be masha? You could do shia, but I need to qualify it. It's only hot water, not a tafshil. Shammai oirim chamel tafshil, or izel oirim chamel tafshil. The hachazor darmilach, and then he goes back into chazor. So he takes a break in the middle of the Mishnah B'Sham, and they say, listen, by the way, shia is okay, only hot water, not a tafshil. Now let's go back to what the Mishnah started off with chazorah. Hachazor darmilach lav divri akoli. El machloikes b'Shammai b'Hillel, sheBeShammai oirim noitlim v'lo machzirin, u'b'Hillel oirim af machzirin. Okay, very simple. The last line of the Mishnah is, by the way, that's only Shia, but in Chazara, this is machloikes b'Shammai b'Hillel. End of story. That's it. If you want, we could go over the Art Scroll Olam, or they could go over. You could just look up on YouTube, Chazer a little bit, and it's all good. Rabbi Sai. Shavua Tov, a good vach. Noam, you ready for some Shir Malois?
I've got music playing here in the house. I think you should do it.